Greetings, Eric Bakker. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for looking at my video. I appreciate it. I've got a lot more questions to go through here. I'm going to talk now about the worst foods for constipation. So what are the worst possible foods you can eat? Well, have a think about it. The worst possible foods usually are the foods that aren't good for your health. And they include takeaway food, fast food, caffeine, white flour. Some people say gluten. Other people say gluten's fine, but many people are now believing gluten could be constipating. Dairy products are a key constipating food for many people. So we're talking cream, we're talking cheese, we're talking milk. All those foods can be potentially very constipating. White flour is a classic for many people. You know, donuts, bagels, bread, cakes, cookies, all these sorts of foods. So if you think about it, the healthy foods that I often talk about are not constipating, but the unhealthy foods are. Some of the worst foods are the deep fried foods you can have, you know, like French fries or deep fried chicken. Can be very constipating. Some people say green bananas are constipating and to avoid them. But if they're cooked in coconut milk or coconut cream, they're not constipating. So sometimes modifying a food can change its nature or its ability to constipate or not constipate. If you're going to stick with vegetables, fruits, and lean meats, and generally, what we call the healthy grains, like brown rice, and quinoa, and buckwheat, you're not going to really get constipated. And even if you get constipated on that kind of diet, it's a much easier fix than if you focus your attention, diet-wise, primarily on takeaway food or fast food. Unfortunately, fast food doesn't create a fast bowel, does it? Unless you get food poisoning, then you've got really fast food and fast bowel. So you need to be careful with the kind of food you eat if you want to overcome constipation. But common sense prevails, people. The easiest thing to say is if you stick with vegetables and fruits and lean meats and avoid a lot of fatty meat, fatty skin on chicken, fatty beef, fatty pork. If you avoid those kind of meats, if you avoid the processed meats, the bacons, the salamis, all that kind of fried stuff in fat and butter and lard, you're going to have a bowel that's a lot less constipated than if you do consume a lot of those foods. But in saying that, many people can get away with some of those foods if they're very active. So it's not just a question of what you eat, it's also how you move your body. So, there's plenty of research out now that validates that if people walk for 30 minutes per day, there's a fantastic effect on improving bowel tone. So if you've got the sitting disease, if you sit down all day on your butt in front of a computer screen, and even if you are eating healthy food, there's still a chance you could get constipated. So it's not just about what you eat. I should have also said the worst activity, if you're constipated, or what to avoid, and that's sitting on a chair all the time. The more you walk, the more the bowel and the liver is active. And again, common sense, the more you move, the easier you poo. It makes sense, doesn't it? But anyway, don't forget, I'll make this cheat list, not that one here. I've got a cheat sheet available here, a constipation sheet that you can look at on the best foods to eat. So you know what not to eat. Most people who are looking at this channel know that, there are certain foods that are crappy foods and there are certain foods that are good foods. You should have worked out by now what's crap and what's good. So if you stick with the good stuff, you're a lot less likely to be constipated, especially if you're like me and you eat at home and you make all your food at home. Thanks for tuning in.